Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today is Monday, September 8th, 2014. Today is my husband Douglas's birthday. Happy birthday, honey. Today's facts is the real reason most of us fail to spend consistent time with God. It's not lack of discipline, but lack of appetite. If we don't have a hunger for God, it's because our affections have been drawn away to other loves. Just to name a few. Rabid materialism, the rush and the seduction of acquiring and indulging. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. The rush and the seduction of inquiring and indulging oneself has a lot to do with these prosperity preachers out there. Wish it, want it, ask for it. You shall receive it. Joel Osteen is big on that. And his wife. If you want it, ask for it. He wants you to have it. We are to suffer for Christ as he suffered for us. But we are to live as though we have our daily needs, because he should be the one we worry about providing for them. Because he says, I provide your daily needs. As long as you have a house over your head, clothes on your back, and food to eat daily, what else should matter? Doesn't matter if you're living in a shack or a mansion. Shack being, not broken down, beat up pile of rubble. But, a decent small house that fits your need, not your wants. A vehicle that gets you to A and B and back again to A. Clothes every day for you to wear, at least to have something on every single day. And no, it doesn't have to be Hilfiger, Prada, or the other name brand. You don't have to have Levi's, the $500 pair of jeans. The $25 pair of jeans should do just as well. What does it matter what the world thinks of you? Shouldn't it just matter what Christ thinks? Why is materialism such a big deal? Do you think I care that I shop at Family Dollars for my clothes? Walmart, Kmart? That I don't shop at JCPenney, Sears, or all those other fancy stores? Doesn't bother me one bit, because I wear clothes daily. Praise the Lord. Shouldn't that be the only thing that matters? Is that you have what you need, not what you want, but what you need. Sexual fantasies and indulgence. Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. And it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Genesis chapter 6, verses 5 and 6. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And thought of, if that's what happened in the beginning, how grieved he was, how repentant the Lord felt. Can you imagine how he feels now? Second Samuel chapter 11, verses 1 through 4. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon, and besieged Rabbah, but David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in an eventime, that David arose from off his bed, and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers, and took her. And she came in unto him, and he lay with her. For she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. Job chapter 31, verse 7. If my step hath turned out of the way, and mine heart walk after mine eyes, and if any blot hath cleaved to mine hands. Verse 9. If mine heart have ever deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door. And 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 14. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and heart they have exercised with covetous practice, cursed children. Do you have sexual fantasies about the guy jogging down the street, the woman walking down the street, your boss, your neighbor, heaven forbid, your pastor? Or even, let's take it, Superman, Spider-Man, animals. Do you indulge yourself in every way possible? With money, with cars, with clothes, shoes, purses, makeup, jewelry, men, women, food, tobacco, alcohol, drugs. Success. That frantic dash to achieve, win, or make a name of oneself. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verses 4 through 11. I made me great works. I builded me houses. I planted me vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of water, to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house. Also I had great possessions of great and small cattle, above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasures of kings, and of the providences. I gave me men singers and women singers, and the delight of the sons of men, as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So I was great, and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Verse 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hand had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Success. The desire to win. To see your name in lights, whether it be, Hollywood lights or even your neighborhood lights as far as business. Do you have that need for success? Do you always have to win? It's vanity. It's all about self. What you can do for yourself, when it should be what can we do to glorify Jesus Christ. And here's my favorite one, because I hear it from so many Christians, and I use that term loosely when I speak of them. The ones that seek the approval of others. The others of the world. Oh no, what would they think of me? What are they going to think? You got in trouble again. Why can you not just do what you're told to do? Why must you do what you want to do? What are the neighbors going to say? What are the people at my work going to say when they find out you got in trouble again? Oh no, I don't want my friends to know that I broke up with him. What would they think? Matthew chapter 22, verse 16. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Luke chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourself before men, but God knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God. Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey God rather than man. Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet pleased men, I should not be the servant of Christ. And 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust of the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God, which trieth our hearts. Recently, a young professional shared with me the dryness of his time alone with God. He said that the scriptures seemed flat, irrelevant. He then explained that in his job, he and a team of analysts routinely submit reports to their superiors that affect company policies. It is a common practice, he informed me, to shade the reports in a manner that will put the team members in a favorable light with their higher-ups. If he chooses not to go along, his career is put in jeopardy. So, instead of finding another job, he plays along. He decides, it's okay, I'll just play along. I need this job. What would I do without this job? What can I do? I'll just play along. So instead of standing up for his beliefs, what he knows is right, true, honest, just, lovely, he'd rather play along so he has a job instead of trusting in God to provide. He just sold his soul. Is there any doubt as to why he has a little appetite for the things of God? Last night I dined with a businessman who, for the past 3 years, I've unsuccessfully attempted to motivate to spend consistent time with God. We've had quiet times, talked about priorities, personal discipline, how to meditate on the Word, you name it, but all to no avail. John, I asked, how's your time with God? Embarrassed, fumbling. Then, Dwight, I won't lie to you, it's not very good. Yet this man spends 10 hours a day on his career and an untold amount of hours in his church work. But he will not carve out personal time with God. Let's be honest. We find time to do what we really want. So the issue is not discipline, but appetite. If we cannot recognize the value of simply being alone with God as the beloved without doing anything, we gouge the heart out of Christianity. Question: how would you evaluate your appetite for spending time with Christ? Are you eager? Do you get up in the morning, good morning, Father, thank you for another beautiful day. yada, yada, yada. Just talking to him. Spending that time together. Having an intimate relationship with him. Or do you feel as if talking to him is an obligation? Something you have to do. Because he's God. And you're a Christian. If your times with God are the blahs, what do you think is the root cause of that? The money, the success, the woman, the men, the weed, your house, your ATVs. I could go on and on and on. But I digress. So what is the real reason most of us fail to spend consistent time with God? And that is today's Facts of the Matter. For Monday, September 8th, 2014. On a side note, as I'm sure you've noticed, these videos are pre-recorded. I'm going to try to get them pre-recorded at least up into a couple more weeks. I'm going to be laid up and I'm not sure how well I'm gonna feel. So I wanted to, instead of just dropping off the face of YouTube for a while, I figured I'd pre-record them so that you still get the facts of the matter. So just on that side note, I just wanted to let you know why they're being pre-recorded and not done daily. Peace be in you, my brothers and sisters. May the Lord have mercy on us all. I love you guys so very, very much. God bless.